Last November, an overwhelming majority of Oregonians voted to decriminalize most drugs via referendum. The new rules went into effect this week.
We've really tried to jail our way out of the addiction crisis for over 50 years, and I would say unequivocally it hasn't worked.
Tara Hurst is in long-term addiction recovery herself. She's also an advocate for decriminalization.
You can speak to this from personal experience. Do you think most addicts, most people who are struggling with drug addiction, do they want help?
A lot of times we're covering up something else that's happening. So for me, it was depression, but I didn't know that, right? So it was just a downward spiral. And I think that being able to meet someone when they're ready, and instead of putting handcuffs on them, giving them a phone number to a mentor can make all the difference.
Possibly some cocaine.
So what happens if you get arrested with small amounts of heroin, cocaine, methamphetamines, or other hard drugs in Oregon? You'll get a citation with a $100 fine, like a traffic ticket, and a phone number for a counselor. You can call the counselor, pay the fine, and be done with it. Or you can agree to an in-person health assessment at a recovery center. And in that case, the fine is waived. Like many states, Oregon is in crisis, with drug-related deaths up 70% in April and May 2020 from the same period the year before. The Oregon District Attorneys Association and 2 prominent addiction recovery groups oppose decriminalization, according to Oregon Public Broadcasting. Generally, the opposition is concerned about shifting funding and say the new rules leave children who choose not to get treatment especially vulnerable.
The stigma and shame is such a huge piece of what's killing people. And the more any community is put in shadows, the worse they do.
Is there an argument that by removing the criminal aspect of this, are you potentially removing a deterrent for someone who, if there were more punitive measures, more severe punitive measures, that might help them actually turn away from drugs? Is that a fear at all here?
Sure, but that's assuming that the system we've had for the last 50 years has worked, because that's what we've been doing. And I would argue wholeheartedly that it has not worked.
All of this will be paid for in part by using money from Oregon's marijuana tax, well over $100 million last year alone. Selling or manufacturing drugs, that's still illegal. But possession of larger amounts has been reduced from felony to misdemeanor offenses. If it works in Oregon, backers of decriminalization hope it could serve as a nationwide blueprint.
The big picture here is that we end up with a national policy.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.